Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the first three rounds of the 2025 Wyndham Championship, the last regular season tournament before the playoffs and the FedEx Cup standings come into play. We have a ton of golfers in this one, 139 to be exact. I got 69 in this pile, 69 in that pile, and the guy that won the tournament real world was Cam Young. So I always like to take the guy who won the tournament, put him in the afternoon qualifying round. So we'll take these golfers, set them to the side. They will qualify in the second round, which is the afternoon round. So the first round of qualifying will be these 69 golfers. And we're going to set them up in groups of 8. So that means there's going to be 8 in some stacks, 9 in some other stacks. So about half the stacks will have 9, the other half will have about 8. So we're giving them a good shuffle, and then I'm just going to count them out in groups of 8 and go till we run out. I believe the first half of the grouping will have 9, the other half will have 8, something along those lines. Maybe just the last 3 has 8 and everybody else has 9. So we're just going to get this going here, and we'll have our cut version of History Maker Golf. First 2 rounds, morning group and afternoon group. And we are preparing the morning group to see who will qualify. Ideally, you want to have at least 70 that qualify. Usually no more than, you want to have between 70 and 80. I don't think you want any more than 80. That would be kind of cluttered, but 70 to 75 is about the sweet spot. So if we can get, and that's roughly half the, a little over half the field. So you want about roughly half the field to qualify, maybe a little bit more than that. So the first 5 groups have 9 golfers. The last 3 groups have 8 golfers as far as making the cut goes. And we will start right here with this first grouping. And we go right to the making the cut. In case you haven't seen this before, we go right to the making the cut. We roll 2 D6s, read them in play style, which is lowest to highest. And we just follow what the instructions say. If it says draw golfer, that means the guy right on top. If it means top golfer, it's the top rated golfer. So that's the definitions we're going to be using there. Sometimes I did it where the draw golfer was not necessarily the guy on top. It was a guy I picked out, but I've gone back to just doing whoever's on top just for simplicity's sake. So in this grouping here, if we roll, say, a 23 and it says draw 1 golfer, I'm going to draw the top guy. That's the way it works. All right, so let's get this thing rolling. We get a 15. 15 says draw 4 golfers, choose top golfer remaining. Okay, so draw 4 means the top 4. I hate saying that. I'm getting my terms confused. The 4 golfers who are on the uppermost part of the stack, the first 4 that I pick right off, they're going to make the cut. And that's going to be Tristan Lawrence, Bo Hostler, Jordan Spieth, and Joe Highsmith. Those are the first 4. Then it says take the top golfer remaining. So out of these other 5 other golfers, 4 of them will not make the cut. Only the guy with the best rating from here will make the cut. So Swenson, 6A, probably not going to make it. Campos, 7C, he's probably not going to make it. Finau, 6A, he's not going to make it. Mullenix, 7, well, actually will. A lot of bad golfers in this group. All these guys are rated at 7. We got 6A and 6A. When you have a tie in this first 2 rounds, both make it. So these guys will not. Campos, Eckroat, and Mullenix will miss the cut. When we get to the third round, there's ties. We use the decider die to break the tie. But in this early fashion, ties, all the ties in advance. Next grouping, 56. Draw 1 golfer, choose top 5 remaining. So I'm going to draw the first golfer, and that is Tom Kim. He will make it. And now out of these final 8, we're taking the top 5 out of these final 8. So Aaron Rye's a 4C. Ben Campbell's a 5C. Valimaki is a 3B. Dunlap's a 5C. Gordon's a 5C. McGreevy's a 3C. And Griffin's a 3B. We know Manacero doesn't make it. So we need the top, with the 56 roll, we need the top 5. So the top 5, anybody with a 3 obviously is going to make it. So top 5, we know 3 of them are going to be these guys: McGreevy, Valimaki, and Griffin. They're all going to make it. Also, a guy with a 4, Aaron Rye, he's going to make it. So now the top guy remaining out of these last 3, and it's Brian Campbell because he's a 5A. These guys are 5Cs. So Campbell makes it, but Dunlap and Gordon do not make the cut. All right, drive on. Pretty much rinse and repeat for the next, 6 turns around. 23 says draw 1 golfer, choose top 2 remaining. So I'm going to draw the first golfer. That's Will Chandler, and only the top 2 left are going to make it. So we got Jackson Coyven, who's a 2B. Keegan Bradley's a 2B. Gerard's a 3A. So Gerard's not going to make it because only the top 2 remaining are going to make it. So Coyven and Bradley are going to make it. Gerard, Dixon, Moore, Swenson, Pack, and Meisner all miss the cut. These guys make the cut. So it's the first decent golfer that did not make the cut. Ryan Gerard is a 3A. This is a 36. So 36, we get draw 3 golfers, choose top 3. So we're going to draw the first 3 on the list here. That's Hizatsun, Jackson Suber, and Kevin Velo. And then after that, it says take the top 3 remaining out of the last 6. So half of these guys are going to make it, half aren't. Top 3 will. Matt Fitzpatrick, he certainly qualifies. I don't think Luke Clanton's going to make it with a 7. I don't think Malnati's going to make it with a 7. And Ford's not going to make it with a 7. So Hubbard, Villegas, and Fitzpatrick will make the cut. Now we go to this grouping. We get a 36. We just did that one. Just draw 3 and take the top 3. So the draw portion is Walker, Matt McCarty, and Chad Ramey. And now the top 3 out of these 6 remaining. We got Patrick Fishburne's a 3C. We got Lee Hodges a 3C. Matty Schmid's a 3A. Lucas Glover's a 2C. So Hojard and Putnam aren't going to make it. We need the top 3. These are 2 of the top 3, Schmid and Glover. And these guys tie, and all ties in this first round advance. So those guys will make the cut. Another 30. I keep rolling 36. It's the same thing. Draw first 3, and that's Gracerman, Hadwin, and Kisner. And then we take the top 3 out of these 5. And that is Eric Cole, and that is Siwoo Kim, and Thorbjorn Olsen. So Matt Wallace and Zach Johnson do not make it. 2 groups left. Maybe I can roll something besides a 36. Roll a 55. That's different. Top 5 golfers, period. No draw golfers. Taking the top 5 out of these 8. Top 5 out of the 8. There's some bad golfers there. Jake Knapp's going to make it for sure. Novak's going to make it. Kanaya and Poston are going to make it. So 55 says take the top 5. Those are 4. Those are the top 4 right there. Who is the 5th guy? Well, we got a tie. You and Max Homa are 5A, so they will make it. So Gim and Garnett do not make it. Poston, Kanaya, Novak, Knapp all make it. And since they tie, you and Homa make it. Now the final group. You get a 46. 46 is draw 1 golfer, choose top 4 remaining. So we draw the 1. It's Davis Thompson. We take the top 4 left. And the top 4 left, we have Joel Damon, Garrett Higo, Harry Hall, and Bud Cauley. Those are the top 4 remaining. I'm sorry, nope. Chris Kirk's going to beat out Dahman because he's a 4B versus a 4C. So 46 is draw top 4 remaining. So Ben Coles, Trevor Cohn, and Joel Dahman missed the cut. Harry Hall, Bud Cauley, Chris Kirk, and Garrett Higo all make the cut. So that is the morning round. That is the first round. It is now complete. We'll take the miscut guys, put them back in their little envelope, and they can try next season maybe, or next year, or whatever. Next week if they're in the playoffs. I don't think any of those guys were. They might be, but I doubt it. So now we'll go through the made cut, and I'm going to count out how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10. We won about 30 35 to 40 is what we're going for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 40. So we're going to have 45 golfers. Ooh, that's a lot. 45 makes the cut. 45 of them make the cut. No outstanding golfers, but 45 golfers have made the cut. So that's a number to keep a track of. And now we're going to do the same thing for the afternoon group. We're going to insert Cam Young into the afternoon group since he was the winner of the tournament Real World. So we'll just put him in the middle right here. And then we'll give it a good shuffle and just rinse and repeat. Do the exact same thing. Most groups are going to have 9, but some will have, because we're going to have 70 golfers here, 69 plus Cam Young. So that's going to give us 70 golfers to whittle down. Whoops. One got flipped over, I think. I thought one got flipped over. Maybe it didn't. Did not get flipped over. I thought it did. Maybe, I guess it didn't. Okay. I guess it didn't. Thought it did. So out of the 8 groups, most are going to have 9. I think the last 2 are going to have 8. So it's pretty much rinse and repeat from round 1, just with the afternoon group. See who joins the other people. Now there are, like I said, a lot of big names I don't believe are in this, like Scheffler and Roy McIlroy and those. Oh, Cam Davis is the one that got flipped over. We'll put him in there, and he'll get lost in that shuffle, I assume. I knew one of them got flipped over. I couldn't tell who it was. But there are a lot of real world golfers that were in this tournament, Real World. That's what I did. I went to the field as it was presented in real life and pulled all the players that appeared. As long as they appeared in the tournament, whether they made the cut Real World or not, didn't matter. As long as they were there, they have a chance. I'm not going to put somebody in that was never there. At least that's not how I'm rolling with it. So the last 2 groups have 8. The first 6 groups have 9. We don't have any outstanding golfers. Let's see if we can get at least one outstanding golfer in this morning or this afternoon group and see what happens. So we're going to go for this group right here. And we get, oh, I didn't roll the right dice. Did I roll the desired die? That was dumb. There we go. 12. I know it didn't show up very well, but it's a 12. 12 says draw 1 golfer, choose top remaining. So that's going to be only 2 guys out of this group are going to make the cut. And that's going to be the first guy I draw off and then top rated. So some good golfers could miss the cut here. Rasmus Højgaard is the guy I drew out. Now we need the top golfer only out of this grouping. So who is the top golfer? Kurt Kitayama. Well, Hideki Matsuyama is a 2C, but Robert McIntyre is a 2B. So that means some good guys are not going to make this cut. So Lipsky, Riley, Ryan Fox, Victor Perez, Kurt Kitayama, Thomas Dietrich, and Hideki Matsuyama all missed the cut. Just the way the dice rolled. We get a 46. Draw 1 golfer, choose top 4 remaining. So the guy that was drawn out is Lanto Griffin. And now we need the top 4 out of these 8. So who are the top 4 out of the 8? Sanjay M., Denny McCarthy, David Skins, and Justin Lower. Those are the top 4. Chris Ventura, Luke Lisp, Pearson Cootie, and Paul Peterson missed the cut. These guys all make the cut. Still no outstanding golfers. 22. Top 2 golfers only. Top 2 only. So top 2, we're looking at Smalley. He's a 3C. Bridgman's a 2C. Can anybody beat them out? Yes, Adam Scott's a 3A, so he beats out the 3C. So the only 2 that are going to make it are Adam Scott and Jacob Bridgman. They make the cut. Missing the cut, Noah Goodwin, Cam Davis, Eric Van Rooyen, Sam Ryder, Ricky Castillo, Nico Echeverria, and Alex Smalley. They all missed the cut. That is a 36. We've had that several times. That's draw 3 and take the top 3 remaining. We got 1, Emmanuel Grillo, Cam Young, or Carson Young, the other Young, not Cam Young, but Carson Young. and Patton Kaziri. They make it. Now the top 3 remaining. And Cam Young is right there. He's a 3C. He's obviously going to make it. 4C, Brent Snedeker is going to make it. And Alex Noren, 5B, is going to make it. These guys are 6 and 7. Harry Higgs, Antoine Rosner, and Nick Hardy do not make it. So both Cam Young and Carson Young were in that group. That was kind of interesting. I don't know. I don't think they're related. I don't know for sure. 16. 16, draw 5 golfers, choose top remaining. All right, so we're going to draw out the first 5 we get to. Frank Kappen is 1. Henrik Norlander is 2. Chan Kim is 3. Stephen Yeager is 4. And Braden Thornberry is 5. So we're getting some guys I've never heard of before. And now we're taking the top golfer out of these last 4. And that's going to be Sam Stevens. He's a 3B. So Zach Blair, Stephen Fisk, and Carl Phillips all missed the cut. Still no outstanding golfers. To get an outstanding golfer, we have to roll a 14, a 34, or a 66. That's the way you get an outstanding golfer. And that's a 15. We just missed it. 15, draw 4 golfers, choose top remaining. So we got 1 is On, 2 is Batia, 3 is Whaley, and 4 is Matt Kuchar. So now we take the top remaining only. And Kevin Rico Hoey's a 2C. He's going to beat everybody else by a mile. Quay Cummins, Kevin Roy, Gary Woodland, and Matthew Riddle all missed the cut. So we're going to have definitely a lot less than the 45 we had the first time around. That's for sure. If we can get about 30 and end up with 75, that would probably be about a good number. That is going to be a 25. And a 25 says draw 3 golfers, top 2 remaining. So we draw 3, and the first one is Nate Lashley. Second one is Thomas Rosenmuller. And the third one is Ricky Fowler. They all make it. And then it says top 2 remaining. Top 2 remaining. Keith Mitchell's a 4. Michael Kim is a 3. And Thorbjornsen's a 3. So that kicks Mitchell out. So we got the 2 guys that have a 3 rating. They're going to make the cut. Thagala, Shank, and Keith Mitchell missed the cut. And now we have our final grouping. You see a lot of big names are not here in this tournament. 25. So no outstanding golfers at all. 25. Draw 3 golfers, top 2 remaining. I'm going to draw the 3, and that's William, however you pronounce that name, Matthew Pavone, and Patrick Rogers. And then after that, we're going to take, on a 25, it takes the top 2 remaining. Top 2 remaining is going to be our buddy Bezenhuten. He's going to make it as a 4A. So now the next group is a 5. And we got 2 5Bs, Seamus Power and Isaiah Salindo. So they're both going to make it because they tie. And Grayson Sigg and Ben Silverman missed the cut. So there you have the first 2 rounds are complete with no outstanding golfers. Very unusual not to have any outstanding golfers. So we'll total up who made the cut as far as the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 37. So that gives us a total of 82 golfers, which is reasonable. Nothing wrong with that. We'll take 82 golfers to make the 3rd round, or to get to the 3rd round. So we'll take our afternoon group and our morning group, put them together, and start shuffling them up. And we'll also be putting down these markers to tell us who the top 12 are going to be. They will be the guys that are either in the star position, the A's, the A minuses, or the B pluses, or possibly even the B's. Anything B minus or less, you're pretty much out of it. B pluses and B's do have a chance to contend late, make a late emerging contender, but not likely. All right, so we're going to continue to shuffle here. And this time, if there is a tie, it's a decider die that's going to determine everything. So we have 82 golfers, and we need 8 groups. So that means we're going to have 8 groups of 10, and the first 2 groups will have 11. If my public school math was correct. All right, so we're just going to count them out in groups of 8. Like I said, it should be 10 in each group with 11 in the first 2 groups. When I finish everybody with 10, I should have 2 lone golfers that I just plop down in the first 2 groups and finish up that way. And like I said several times, the manual says you can guesstimate this, but I prefer to be more exact. Maybe that's my mathematical statistics major coming through. Where I like to be precise. So we get these all done out. And when we're done, there should be two extra in that group there, and they are right there. All right, so get these guys going over here and get them out of the way. And we're going to take the ones with the extra cards and make them the first 2 to be drawn from, because we want to clear space over here for to be able to put those cards there. So again, same situation, a little bit different though. Still roll them when the replay, or not replay, in the play.com style of lowest to highest. However, if we run across anything with one of these symbols, then we're going to roll after this round is over for game day issues and perks. And I'll mark those golfers with these little tokens to tell what's going on. Otherwise, we're just going to go ahead and just follow what the script says and start placing guys. So here we go. We're in this group here, far right where the token is. We get a 56. 56 says, draw golfer contends with A-. So the draw golfer is the guy right on top. And he's going to contend with an A- right here. And that is Jackson Suber. He's going to be an A-. Everybody else, unfortunately, is going to finish a D. So it could be some good golfers in here that finish with a D. And we're going to have Poston, Higo, Hodges, Norlander, Cawley, Thornberry, Keegan Bradley, Noren, Valimaki, and Novak all finished with Ds. So some bad tournaments there. Keegan Bradley could have used it. He could have used that to gain some extra points, but it just didn't work for him. Next grouping, we get a 13. 13 says, draw golfer contends with an A+ and gets a perk. So the draw golfer will be right here, and he gets a perk or an issue. And that is Rio Izatsun, however you pronounce that name, but he does get to roll for a perk. Then it says, top golfer contends with A-. So the top golfer left will join Jackson Suber at an A-. And so the top golfer left, we got Harry Hall and Fitzpatrick are 2 Cs. If they tie, we will roll this off with a decider unless somebody beats them out. And how about that? Jackson Coyvin's a 2B, so he will beat them out. And that's it. So Jackson Coyvin will be the A- golfer. And the other golfers remaining finish with a C+. So Kanaya, Kim, Kirk, Hojard, Hall, Fitzpatrick, Capon, Kim, and Nat all finished with C+. So they are done. All right, now everybody else should have 10 golfers in the stack. Should work out that way. We get a 13. I think we just had that, didn't we? So we just did. So it's another same. Top golfer gets an A+, or the draw golfer gets the A+ and gets a perk. And the draw golfer is Rico Hoey. So Rico Hoey will roll for the perks and issues. And now the top golfer contends with an A-. Who's the top golfer? Top golfer, right now it's Matty Schmid, unless somebody beats him out. Nobody's going to beat him out. So Matty Schmid will contend with an A minus, and everybody else C pluses. That is Siwoo Kim, Villegas, Highsmith, Skins, An, Salinda, Kaziri, and Hadwin all get C pluses. Now we go to this grouping. 46. 46 says draw golfer contends with A minus. Draw golfer will go right there. And that is going to be Patrick Fishburne. No perk, but he gets an A minus. And then it says low golfer finishes D minus. Everybody else finishes D. So not much of a difference there. So let's see who the low golfer is. The low golfer appears to be, well, we got a tie for low golfer. So we're just going to let them go as low golfer. I'm not going to roll this off. Kim and Finau are going to finish with a D minus because it really doesn't matter at this point. It's not going to affect anything. Who's going to be D and D minus? So we got Olsen, Stevens, Glover, lower. Wait a minute. Did I miss somebody there? Lower. Glover's a 2C, so he should be there instead of Fishburne. I thought I got that. Or was Fishburne? No, because Schmitty. Now I'm trying to remember if Fishburne was the draw golfer or the best golfer. I think he was the draw golfer, though. I'm thinking he was the draw golfer. Now I'm forgetting what I was doing. Yeah, it's the draw golfer, contends A minus. So he was the draw golfer, not the top golfer. So yeah, so Glover unfortunately is not going to make it. Olsen, Stevens, Lower, Patia, Seamus Power, and Brent Snedeker. They all finish with regular Ds. Not good, obviously. So we don't have any B pluses or Bs yet. That's unusual. And no A's, no regular A's yet either. We get a 24, and a 24 says top golfer contends with an A. So we finally get an A, and it gets a perk. This is the top golfer, not the draw golfer. So we're going to take the best golfer in the stack, and he's going to get an A and get to roll for a perk or issue. And that top golfer is going to be, so far, Jordan Spieth. Denny McCarthy's a 1C, but he's a 4C in the third round, so he won't make it. So it looks to be Jordan Spieth. Matt Kuchar's a 2C, but he's a 5C in the third round, so Jordan Spieth is going to be an A golfer, and he will roll for a perk. That's on the 24. And then it says others finish C+. So everybody else C+. Eric Cole, Mark Hubbard, Chad Ramey, Denny McCarthy, Jasper Swenson, Besenhuten, Carson Young, Max Gracerman, and Max Kuchar all finished C+. Boy, C pluses are piling up here. This grouping. Oh, a 66. That's interesting. Top golfer contends with B+. So that's it. Top golfer is going to get a B+. Who is the top golfer in this group? Right now, it is Jacob Bridgman, unless somebody can beat him out, and they cannot. So Bridgman will be a B+. And then it says low golfer finishes D-, everybody else finishes C. Low golfer is Kevin Kisner. He's an A or an 8. So everybody else finishes with a regular C. Chandler, McCarty, Bo Hostler, Sunjay M., Patrick Rogers, Michael Thorbjornsen, Manuel Grillo, and Vince Whaley all finished with C's. But a D- going to Kevin Kisner. So 2 groups left. We're supposed to have 12 when we're done. Right now we have 8. So we need 4 more guys to fill the bill. 45. 45. Draw golfer contends with A- and gets a perk. So the draw golfer will be right here and get a perk. And that is Ricky Fowler. So he is going to be there and he will get a perk on the 45. Top golfer contends with an A. Top golfer is going to get an A, be there with an A. Top golfer. Now, Ben Griffin's a 1B in the third round, so it's going to be very hard to beat him with a 1B. I don't think anybody else can do that. No, not even close. So Ben Griffin will contend with an A, and everybody else finishes D+. So Brian Campbell, Denny Walker, Thurston Lawrence, Lanto Griffin, Adam Scott, Rosenmuller, Pavone, and you all finish with D+. Oddly enough, Cam Young, the guy who won the tournament Real World, he's in the last group. So we'll see if he can make the top 12 or not. That's a 46. 46 says draw golfer contends with A-. So the draw golfer is Kevin Velo. He's an A-. That means Cam Young's not going to make it because low golfer finishes D-. Everybody else finishes with a D. So the low golfer in this case is going to be Nate Lashley. He finishes with a D-. And everybody else finishes with a D. McGreevy, Rye, Yeager, Thompson, McIntyre, good golfer, Cam Young, you, and Homa all finished with regular D. So that's what we have, and I don't believe we have our 12. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've only got 11. So what do we do with that? We don't have any B's or B pluses to go to. So the best thing I can do is go to the C pluses. I don't know if this is in the rule book or not, but it's going to be my rules, I guess. I just go to the highest rated rating, which is a C plus, and take the best golfer there by rating. So whoever has the best rating will join Bridgman at B plus. So, or maybe a B. Maybe I have to figure it out. It's got to be within 6 shots. It can't be more than 6 shots behind. He'll be 6. Whoever it is going to be 6 shots behind. So let's see. Harry Hall's a 2C. So is Fitzpatrick. Could have a roll off for that, unless somebody else comes along. I don't think that's going to happen though. McCarthy's a 1C, but he's a 4C in the 3rd round. Kuchar's a 2C, but he's a 5C in that round. So Fitzpatrick and Hall are going to have a roll off by the decide or die to see who makes it as the 12th golfer at the top. Fitzpatrick gets a dot. So if Harry Hall does not get the dot, then Fitzpatrick will advance. And they both get it. So we'll re-roll. Now if Hall gets the dot this time, he'll advance. He does not. Now they both don't get it. Now we go to Fitzpatrick. He doesn't get it. If Harry Hall gets the dot, he advances. He does not. This is getting to be pathetic here. I'm going to change this up. I'm going to re-roll the dice. And we're going to read them lowest to highest in play style. And whoever gets the highest roll will advance. So Fitzpatrick gets a roll of 45. Harry Hall's got to beat 45. He does not. So Fitzpatrick will get the advancement. Harry Hall goes back in the C plus stack. And there are our 12 right there with 4 of the guys rolling for perks. So we got Harry Hall there, and we're rolling for our perks. So before we roll for perks, we need to know what the scores are going to be. Looking at the real tournament, Cam Young was 22 under par, a 258. So we go to our flip side here, and anything under 263, we're going to be using this column here. For the A pluses, it's either going to be 193 or 194 based on the decider die. So we'll roll for Izatsun and Hoey, starting with Izatsun. He gets the first roll. See if he gets a dot or not. He does not. So he's a 194. Izatsun is a 194. Now let's see if Hoey can have the outright lead at 193. He does not. They both have 194s. So they will be tied for the lead at 194. And that is Izatsun and Hoey. Definitely getting some different names in there. That's for sure. All right, now we're going to Jordan Spieth and Ben Griffin. Jordan Spieth and Griffin are A's. So it's either be 195 or 196. We roll first for Spieth. He's a 195, so he's 1 shot back. He is 1 shot back in 3rd place, Jordan Spieth. And we'll see if Griffin can join him at that same rate. He does. So they're both going to be tied at 1 shot back. So we got a tie for 3rd. Spieth and Griffin. 1 shot behind. So now we go over here to our A minuses, and it's a whole list of those guys. An A minus is either going to be a 197 or a 198. So 197 or 198, starting with Jackson Suber. He is a 197. So Suber is a 197. He will be 3 shots back. Jackson Coiven. He's going to be a 198. Matty Schmid. He's a 197. They will be tied for 5th. Suber and Schmid. Now we go to Fishburne. He's a 197. He will join that tie. Three shots back. And then we're looking at Ricky Fowler. He's a 197. So we got right now 4 guys tied for 5th place at 3 shots back. Might be a crowded leaderboard here. Kevin Velo. He's also 197. So all the A's are 197 except for Coiven, who's going to be 198. So Coiven will be 4 shots back. So now we've got in 10th place is Coiven. And now we go to Bridgman. And Bridgman on the B plus is a 199 or a 200. He's a 199 for Bridgman. He's 11th. Five shots back. And by default, since I had to pull Fitzpatrick by the C pluses, I'm going to give him the worst available score, which is 200, 6 shots back. That's only fair since he wasn't there to begin with and had to be pulled basically out of the rubble, so to speak. All right, so now what we need to do is put all these other alphabet things away and set up the board the way it's going to look to start the 4th round. So we need to move all these D pluses and Ds and all that stuff. These are just going to be for point keeping purposes. That's all they're there for. And there are going to be no emerging golfers because there were no B pluses except for the 2 we got in the tournament right now. So we don't have to worry about an emerging golfer. That's not going to happen. So we're going to keep the perks on Fowler, on Hoey, on Hizatsune, and on Jordan Spieth. And we'll go ahead and set up the board with the way it's going to look to start the 4th round. In the lead is going to be, was actually a tie for the lead, Hizatsune and Rico Hoey. They both are going to roll on the perks and issues chart when this is all said and done. But they have a 1-shot lead over Jordan Spieth and Ben Griffin. They are 1 shot back. 3 shots back, we have Suber. We also have Schmid and Fishburne. Schmid. And there's a lot of guys here, so I'm going to have to stack these on each other, I think, to make them fit. So Suber, Schmid, and Fishburne. Fowler and Velo. So Fowler coming over here. Fowler gets the perk. And then Kevin Velo. So those are the guys that are 3 shots back. 4 shots back is Jackson Coiven. 5 shots back is Jacob Bridgman. And 6 shots back is Matt Fitzpatrick. So that is how the board will look when the 4th round commences. But now we need to roll for perks and issues before I put them on the score sheet. Well, actually, I can put it on the score sheet, then I'll put the perks and issues in after the fact. Probably easier thing to do there. So we're back to our threesomes again. So the final group is going to be Hizatsune, Hoey, and Spieth. The next to last group will lead off with Griffin. And then we're going to have Suber and Schmidt. Second to last group, we'll have Fishburne, Fowler, and Velo. And the first group out will have Koiven, Bridgman, and finally Fitzpatrick. All right, so now we can start rolling for the perks and issues. So we go to our perks and issues chart, which is right here. And this time I'm going to read the dice a little differently. Black die is always read first, then the white die. And we're going to start out rolling for Izatsun. He's going to see what kind of perk or issue he gets. It is a 14, 1-4, and it says starts round with so many red chips. So that's not good. We're going to roll and see how many red chips he has to start the round with. So start the round with 3 red chips. So Izatsun's going to have to start the round with 3 red chips. Didn't like that, I'm sure. All right, now we're going to roll for Hoey on his Perkin issue. That is a 5-5, and that's going to be lose choice semi-quality. All right. He's going to lose the chunky, semi-chunky quality. So he loses semi-chunky, does Hoey. You always want to lose a bad quality, so he's going to lose semi-chunky. Hoey will not be semi-chunky anymore. He can't lose the rust putting because it's not a semi-quality, it's a full quality, so he can't lose that. All right, we go to Jordan Spieth, see what he's got. Spieth, a 6 and a 2. 6 and a 2, he's going to gain the stormy quality. So Jordan Spieth will be stormy. And that means if you get to the mood chart, he will be stormy. And then last but not least, Ricky Fowler. See what his perk or issue is going to be. 6-5. 6-5 says he's going to be a rust putter. So Ricky Fowler, normally a normal putter, will be a rust putter for this round. So if it comes to clutch putting, if he has clutch putts, he will turn to rust. And that means the only way you make a clutch putt when being a rusty putter is to roll a 1. Anything else, you're going to miss it. So nobody else is going to have any chips on the table, just Izatsun. But these other guys have their perks and issues to deal with. And that's what we've got. That's how the setup is going to be for the start of the 4th round. So these guys are going to have to be careful because if they get a couple of bogeys and get more than 6 shots back, they go off the board. And when you're off the board, we roll for the out of contending golfers. And that's usually never a fun thing for them. So I mean, it speeds up play, obviously, but means they're out of contention. No matter how many birdies they roll on the out of contending golfers rolls, you're not going to get back in the tournament. It's impossible to get back in. You're going to stay out of it. So that's the way that goes. Nobody who's off the board is going to beat somebody that's on the board, basically, is what I'm saying. All right, so that's what we have. And we are going to be at, this is showing Greater Greensboro, North Carolina, but it's really Sedgefield Country Club is really where we're going to be at. And I will roll the front 9 for everybody's front 9 off camera, and we'll pick it up when the last group, these two guys and Spieth, when those 3 guys have finished their 9th hole and they're at the turn, that's where we'll pick it up with the streaming, whether it's recorded or Memorex or live or whatever. That's where we'll pick it up from at that point. But this is going to be it here. So like I said, it's a lot of guys that have never been in this position before. Obviously, Spieth's been here. I think Fowler's been on the board once. I know Matty Schmidt has. But there's a lot of guys here that, like Kevin Velo, that was an 8A, you would think would never do it, but he got a lucky draw. Same with Jackson Suber. He's the same way. He got a lucky draw. So, a lot of high-rated guys here. Although, actually, I'm looking at this, it's not really that bad. Other than Velo it being an 8 and Suber being a 4, everybody else is either a 2 or a 3. So, not as bad as I thought. Just some not your household names. That's all. But that's going to make it fun. Give us some variety. And before we sign off, here's going to look at the score sheet as I've got it laid out. In the final group is Izatsun, Hoey, and Spieth. Izatsun will start with 3 red chips. Hoey will lose the semi-chunky quality, and Jordan Spieth will be stormy. Next to last group, Griffin, Suber, and Schmidt. Second to last, or third to last group, Fishburne, Fowler, and Velo, with Fowler being a rust putter. And the first grouping out, Koiven, Bridgman, and Fitzpatrick will be the last grouping with no perks at all. And Koiven will have the honors when we start the back 9, or the front, start the final round, I should say. So there you have it. That's what we have. Final round will be Sunday. Most assuredly will be a Memorex thing that I'll pre-record and put out there to post on Sunday. So there you have it. Great game, History Maker Golf. I know I'm late to the party. It took me about 4 or 5 years before I got around to getting into this thing, but I really love it. And this whole tournament thing in 25, I started mid-season, so I'm behind the 8 ball. This is just a practice one for me. I mean, I'm keeping the standings and everything, and I'll have a champion and all that, but this was kind of a truncated version of a whole season, and because I'm skipping a lot of tournaments to be able to try to get finished with this thing close to when the real golf season ends. But for the next season, when the 26 golfers come out, I'll be jumping on that and purchasing any courses that I'm missing for the majors in 2026, and or any courses I'm missing for the tournaments I didn't play. Make sure I've got all my courses lined up so that in January, when the Hawaii Open starts in January of 2027, I'll be ready for it. So looking forward to it. I enjoy this game. Not as much as baseball, but it's pretty much the second favorite game of mine other than baseball. History Maker Baseball is a great game. Of course, I'm a Strat-O-Matic guy, as you know. Inside Pitch is a really nice game as well. And but as far as the play games go, this one right here is right up there with History Maker Baseball. Not quite, but very, very close. In fact, it might even be, well, it's kind of hard to tell because they're different sports, but this gives me the unique privilege to be able to play this game and have a lot of fun. So that's going to do it from here. Until next time, hope you enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and we'll see you all down the road.